Hello, I welcome you again to this wonderful teaching from the simple chemistry teacher. Remember, the simple chemistry teacher is here to ensure that you learn chemistry and appreciate the foundation of chemistry, because we believe that it's from the foundation of chemistry that you will be able to build that appreciation and as well appreciate the advanced one. And one of our aim in this is to ensure that we thoroughly explain everything that needed to be explained, especially when we are solving problems, especially when we are teaching you something. So our aim is to make sure you understand everything that is being explained. So last time we were talking about balancing of chemical equation. But before we proceed, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do wait to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We have our Facebook page. Follow the page. Then we have our Instagram page. Then we have our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, because we are bringing many amazing things for you. Now let's look at this question. Balancing chemical equation. In the following chemical equation, what are the values of x, y, and z? You see that this question, I'm bringing it from different angles. The last time we looked at a situation whereby we were given the word equations. The compounds were written in words, and we had to translate it to the formula before we now start balancing it. So in this one, the formula, everything has been given to us in a formula form. So we just have to put the necessary numbers. We need to balance it. So in this equation, when MnO2 react with HCl, it gives us MnCl2 plus water plus chlorine molecule. So the A is 412, B 121, 2, C 212, and D 421. So I am going to take this option one after the other and explain to you. That's why you have simple chemistry teacher, because we have your time. We want you to learn. We don't just want to balance the equation and leave you to go and figure it out. We want you to see what is happening at each stage of the equation. So that's why in this channel we are not rushing. We are not a university that will rush to cover the scheme. We are concerned with your understanding. So for option A, that has 412, that 4 means that the x is 4, y is 1, and z is 2. And the x is in front of HCl, the y is in front of water at the right hand side, and the z is in front of chlorine. We call them the coefficients. So we are looking for the right coefficient. So if we are going with option A, which is 412, that means in front of HCl is 4 at the left hand side. Then at the right hand side we have 1 H2O. We don't write 1, that's why it's invisible there, but by mere looking at it, you know that that thing is 1 molecule of H2O. Then the other one is 2 chlorine. Now 2 chlorine molecule. Now let's see whether it is balanced, because we want to balance. We want to know the right option to choose. Now when you look at the right hand side, let's look at the manganese, that is Mn. How many manganese can you see at the right hand side? We can see one manganese. At the left hand side, how many? Is 1. The right hand side we are seeing 1 manganese, the left hand side we are seeing 1 manganese. How many oxygen can you see from the left hand side? Remember, LHS means left hand side, RHS means right hand side. So the oxygen, we have 2 atoms of oxygen at the left hand side. Now at the right hand side, how many do we have? We have 1. Now from there you know that the equation is not even balanced. Then for hydrogen, how many do we have? This 4 will multiply this hydrogen. 4 times 1 is 4. And in the right hand side, what do we have? Just 2 atoms of hydrogen. So it's not also balanced. For chlorine, 4 times 1 chlorine, 1 atom of chlorine will give us 4. That's why we are having 4 here. Then here we have chlorine molecule here, that is Cl2 attached to Mn. So the chloride there has two atoms of chlorine is there, then 2 molecules of chlorine. So what we are going to do, this 2 times 2 will give us 4 plus the 2 chlorine that is here. That's how we got 6 at the right hand side. So when you calculate the number of chlorine at the right hand side, you are going to get 6. So we can see that the difference is clear, that this equation, the option A, is not the right option. It is wrong. It is not the right option for this question. Now let's look at option B. Option B says that X is 1, Y is 2, and Z is 1. It means that 1, we have 1 molecule of HCl, we have 2 molecules of H2O, and we have a molecule of chlorine gas. Now let's look at those numbers. At the left hand side, how many manganese can you see? Is 1. At the right hand side, how many can you see? It is 1. At the left hand side, how many oxygen can you see? 2. The right hand side, how many oxygen can you see? The 2 in front of H2O, that 2 will multiply everything there, is still 2. Now manganese and oxygen, they are all balanced. Now in hydrogen, how many can you see? From the left hand side, you can just see 1. But at the right hand side, we have 4, because the 2 in front of water will multiply the hydrogen molecule there. It will give us 4 atoms of hydrogen. Now chlorine, how many can you see? From the left hand side is just 1. The right hand side, how many can you see? Is 4. How is it 4? When you look at manganese chloride, it is the chlorine atoms there are 2. Then the chlorine molecule, they have 2 atoms of chlorine, so 2 plus 2 is 4. So because of this difference in the coefficient of hydrogen and chlorine, option B cannot go. Option C, let's look at option C. Option C is 2, 1, 2. It means that we will have 2 molecules of H2O, 2 molecules of HCl, we'll have 2 molecules of HCl, we have 1 molecule of water, and 2 molecules of chlorine. Now let's look at it from the left hand side to the right hand side. The left hand side, how many manganese can you see? Is 1. The right hand side, how many manganese is there? Still 1. Okay, we are correct. Oxygen, how many oxygen can you see from the right hand side? Okay, let's start from the left. The left hand side, how many oxygen? Is 2. Right hand side, how many oxygen can you see there? Is 1. The one at H2O is just 1 oxygen. So from there, you know that this equation is not even balanced. Then for hydrogen, how many hydrogen can you see? Left hand side is 2. Right hand side is still 2. It is balanced in terms of hydrogen and manganese, but in terms of oxygen and chlorine is not balanced, because for chlorine, the 2 in front of HCl will multiply that atom of chlorine to give us 2. Then at the right hand side, we see that we have 2 molecules of chlorine molecule, of which that 2 in front of chlorine molecule multiply the 2, it will give us 4 plus the 2 in front of the chlorine, the 2 after the chlorine molecule, like the subscript there. So that 2 plus 4 will give us 6. That's how we got 6 chlorine atoms. So from this, you can see that this option is not the right option. Now, you may not have all the time to be doing all of these things in the exam or test or all of that, but the reason why I'm taking my time to bring this to your knowledge is for you to understand what is happening in all of these things, for you to see how it works, so that in a situation whereby maybe the one you read or the formula that you mastered failed you, you can use this method and solve your problem. Or if this one may waste time. The reason for this long method is for you to study, because you are studying. It's for you to take out time to know what is happening, so that when you are in a situation whereby there is limited time, your brain can work very fast and you will be able to write well and write excellently. So that's why I'm taking my time. The simple chemistry teacher is taking his time to ensure that you understand. So remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to follow us on our various platforms. If you have questions, you can drop it on the comment section. We are going to attend to it. Now, the option D is saying that X is 4, Y is 2, and Z is 1, meaning that we have 4 molecules of HCl, 2 molecules of H2O, and a molecule of chlorine. Now, from the left hand side, what can we see? We have 1 manganese. The right hand side is 1 manganese. Oxygen, the left hand side we have 2 atoms of oxygen. The right hand side we have how many? 2, because that 2 in front of H2O will multiply everything there. Then the hydrogen, we have 4 atoms of hydrogen. Then in the right hand side we also have 4 atoms of hydrogen, because the 2 will multiply the 2 atoms of hydrogen and everything will add up to 4. The chlorine, the 4 times 1, because in that HCl we have 4 HCl, so that 4 is multiplying everything, so we have 4 chlorine there. And at the right hand side we have a molecule of chlorine which has 2 chlorine atom, that is 2. Then manganese chloride, it has 2 chlorine atom, that is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So this one is the most appropriate one. It is the correct one. Others are not correct, as you can see that they have one issue or the other. There must be a place where maybe one will be balanced and the other will not be balanced. But here for this option 4, 4, 2, 1 is correct. Now let's go back to that question. Going back to that question, we now say, in the following chemical equation, what are the values of X, Y, and Z respectively? We can now say that the answer to this question, let me highlight it, the answer to this question is D. Option D is the right answer. That's the right answer for this question. So I believe that we have learned something. Option D is the right answer. S is 4, Y is 2, and Z is 1. So that option D is the right answer for this question. As you can see, we have tested option A, option B, option C, and option D. So which equation would you want us to balance in our next video? So if there are equations that you want us to balance in our next video, you can drop it on the comment section. Comment in the comment box. We will pick an equation or series of equations, and in our next video you will see it will be balanced. So we want you to remember to subscribe and follow us on all our social media handles. On Instagram, we have our Instagram page, The Simple Chemistry Teacher. On Facebook, we have a page. Don't follow the profile, the page, The Simple Chemistry Teacher. The person I'm wearing white lab coat and all of that. So we will be happy to connect with you. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we are bringing amazing things for you. So we are expecting your questions. Which equation would you want us to balance in our next video? Please comment, so that we will ensure that you learn everything that you're supposed to learn, that will enable you to appreciate chemistry. Have a wonderful time.